everything has an expiration date. And even if your expiration date is a lifetime, it still has an expiration date. But some of you are over here playing with these ingredients and you know they're bad. You're trimming some off the side. You're cutting a little bit off here because you think the heart is still good, but you are hurting yourself. And this is what I told her. And she said, well, see, Titan, here you go, right? And I don't know why people always want to compare me to somebody. She said, Iyanla fixed my life. The person this morning said, Miss Netta, you know, look, y'all, compare me to whatever. But the reality of it is that you know that ingredient that's causing you all this pain and havoc should have been gone, because this recipe of life does not call for that ingredient anymore. Did y'all catch that? My recipe has changed. 2024, the recipe of life has changed. The recipe that I had in 2023, I had in 2022, that's not for me anymore. I had to tweak my recipe. I had to take out some ingredient because that ingredient no longer serves me. I'm the main ingredient in this recipe, and you no longer serve me. And you no longer serve me. And you no longer serve me. Not in the good sense, not in the great sense, not in the person that I know that I'm supposed to be. And y'all, this is not a dig, but I guarantee you can take inventory on your life right now, and there is a recipe ingredient that's staring you right in the face that no longer serves you. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning to you all. Wait. I know. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Hey, good morning to you. Look, let me tell you. Hold on, before I even do my sip and anything else, let me say it to you. Let me say good morning. Yeah. I want to say it again. Let me put it in the comments. Let me put it in the thing. Let me put it everywhere. Let me talk to you this morning. Okay. I know. Y'all know what today is. Y'all know how we do it. Y'all know what we do. So good morning to you. Good morning. Let me do it right. Let me take a sip while I say good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, that's hot. Yes. Good morning. Hey, y'all. Good morning to you all. Good morning and peace and blessings to you. It's a great day. It's a blessed day. Y'all know what it is. It's a Thursday. So I just want to say hey to you this morning. Good morning. Y'all come on in. Y'all know it's me. Y'all know what we do here. Yeah. So good morning to you. Yeah, I'm feeling good from my head to my shoes. Know where I'm going and I know what to do. Ooh. I got a new attitude. Look, I'm just feeling good. I can't feel good this morning. Oh, okay, somebody, you know. Oh, that's good, y'all. So I hope that y'all have a good morning. Y'all are having a good morning. Y'all are up. Y'all are ready. Y'all are doing. Because this morning we're going to talk about navigating the experience. So I'm going to hold on for a second. I'm feeling good this morning. I'm liking this coffee this morning in this cup. Tastes good. Yes, indeed. That's what we do. We sip here. Now, look, y'all, for those of y'all that are new, that are coming in, that are seeing this and hearing this for the first time, then y'all know, y'all might say, Titan may say, now that sounds more like something else. But I'm going to tell you, that it may sound like, it may look like, it may even feel like that it is something other than a sip, but that's a sip. That's how we sip here at Titan in the Morning, because everything is big in Texas, unless you've been to Alaska. So I just want to say that to you. Come on in. Come on in. Look, y'all come on in. Y'all tell a friend. Y'all go on over to the TikTok shop over there, TikTok, and get y'all a nice old Titan in the Morning mug. You can just click the link down in here, get y'all a nice old Titan in the Morning mug. But you don't have to just get you a Titan in the Morning mug. I'm coming, everybody. You don't have to get you a Titan. You can get you a nice old Titan in the Morning t-shirt. You can get you some socks, candles, all of that stuff. Let me see. Let me see if I got one over here. Hold on. Get you a nice old candle. Get you all of that good stuff over at the TikTok shop. Now, look, y'all, I'm not telling y'all that y'all can't get it either. I put the link into the comments, YouTube, Facebook, Insta, Podbean, X. I put the link into the comments. Y'all go on over and grab y'all a nice old Titan in the Morning mug. Grab you a nice old Titan in the Morning mug, right? But grab you a t-shirt, some socks, grab you a candle, grab you a tote bag. You know what I mean? Grab all of those things. And show me some love. So TikTok, y'all tippity tap the middle of that screen. Show me that y'all are in. Show me some love. Show me all of that good stuff. YouTube, Facebook, show me some thumbs up. Show me some hearts. Y'all like, y'all follow, y'all share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. Y'all tell a friend. Tell a friend that we are here every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And to come on over. Come on over and check us out. Come on over and be with us. Yes, indeed. Hey, Daryl. Hey, good morning. Hey, Carol. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Okay. Yes, indeed. Exactly. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to talk about navigating the experience this morning. And y'all, the reason why I'm saying that this morning is because a lot of times we navigate in spaces and places where we're only navigating from our vantage point, right? From what we have been through, what we have experienced, and things like that. Let me raise this up a little bit. Do I need to raise it up or take it down? Okay, I'll leave it right there for right now. I'll leave it right there. All right. So what we always do is that we navigate from things that we've experienced, things that we've been through, and things like that, which that's not a bad thing. But sometimes, y'all, we are navigating in a space of it's only right for us, right? We don't understand what's going on outside. We don't understand what's going on in the world because we are so secluded in what we're actually doing, right? And the reason I'm saying that is because here lately, maybe the last week or two, I've had conversations with individuals that sometimes they will take it and run with it. And I'm saying, well, that's not what I meant. I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, we're looking at things from a different lens. Your lens is this, but that doesn't mean that we can't be on the same page. It's just that you have a different lens, right? Your lens may be darker. My lens may be lighter. Your lens may be heavier. My lens may be light as a feather. Who knows, right? But we're looking at the same thing. We're interpreting the same thing. But I don't understand why we have to fight with each other about this thing that's been existing in this world since before we got here. And we're arguing that it is not something that your view is not right. My view is not right. Their view is not right, right? It's a view, right? It's an actual view. So I have a story. So I have been around the block and I just stood on a couple of corners, you know what I mean? And so I was talking with someone about 2 days ago, and they were saying to me that, no, Titan, you don't see it the way I see it. You don't get it, right? We're talking about the current state of the world and the current state of our country and things like that. And I said, well, here's my thing. If I don't get it, you know what I mean? Because I'm an advocate, right? So I'm advocating and I'm doing, and a lot of times people don't feel the same way that we feel. They don't feel this. They don't see this. They don't feel it. When I mean feel it, they don't go through the same things that we go through. You understand what I'm saying? Because of our vantage point. You with me? Yeah, I'm going to get into it in a minute. But let's throw it on. Yo, come on, y'all. Come on, come talk to me. Hold on. I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming. I just had to sip one more time. Now, let me go ahead. Let me put it into the cup. Y'all ready? Because I'm going to have to talk about it. I'm already starting to talk about it. But I want to talk about it. But I want us to sip on it first, right? Can we do that? Can we do that? Hey, y'all. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Where y'all at this morning? Where y'all at? Okay, look, come and talk to me. Come and talk to me. That's what I want you to do is come and talk to me. I know. Look, I don't have no time for fake ones. Switch style with the real ones. Now, look. So before y'all go into it, y'all, look. And I thank the system for blocking certain comments, right? Y'all, I already know my hair look like hot Cheetos. I just had it recolored earlier this week, right? Or colored earlier this week because my red was fading. So I already know that my hair looked like hot Cheetos. Let me tell you something. I like hot Cheetos. You know what I mean? So you can say what you want to say. I just wanted to let you know. I didn't have to acknowledge it, but I just wanted to say, y'all, what you telling me? What you telling me? Hot Cheetos, yeah, I like them. Y'all gonna send me some? Oh, and then, you know, they're already on my head. Wait. I ain't tripping. I'm good. That doesn't bother me. Hey, good morning. So I want to acknowledge something. Before we sip, y'all, I want to acknowledge something. So somebody told me yesterday, they were like, how many platforms do you have? And I was like, I really don't have a lot of platforms. But then I started counting and I started thinking, I was like, that's a lot of platforms. So I stream to a lot of places, right? Or destinations, if you would, as they call them. And so I just want to say TikTok, I'm streaming. I'm going live on you this morning. Thank you all for being here. Come in, have yourself a good time. Tippity tap the middle of that screen. Go on in, go to the TikTok shop and get y'all a nice old Titan in the Morning mug. Get y'all a little something if you want to do a little love offering. You can be whatever you want it to be on that. And yeah, tippity tap the middle of that screen. I got a goal of the finger snaps of 200. Yeah, go on and give me the finger heart, the finger snap heart. Is that what they call it? The finger snap heart? I think that's what it's called. Anyways, go on and get that for me and tippity tap the middle of that screen. All right. YouTube, right? YouTube, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want y'all to like and follow and subscribe and do all the things. Facebook, love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Facebook, Instagram. I know that I send over the link over on Instagram. And then also X, right? Now, look, X, I know that you are in the building, and I'm so glad that you are here. Hit that thumbs up, hit those likes, follows, all of that good stuff. Y'all come on in and come talk to me this morning. And then Podbean, thank you so much for being here. I see y'all are in. I just want to say good morning to you all. And then so for all of the places that I'm streaming to, all of the places that I'm going to, I just want to say to you all this morning, good morning. That's what I want to say to you all. I just want to say good morning. Hey, Chatty. See, and that's what I'm talking about. Chatty put it into the comments. All those O's and R's and INGs. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, thank you so much, Maria. I appreciate you on that. Y'all, so I just want to take a moment because I realize that sometimes I'm on and sometimes I'm talking to you all and sometimes I am going through the topic and, you know, answering questions and things. And then I just want to stop and say thank you. I appreciate you. I love you all for what you all have done for me and what you all continue to do for me. Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you all so much. And thank you so much, Chatty. Good morning to you. Good morning. Let's see what we have. All right. So we're going to go ahead on and get it. I just wanted to take that time and to say good morning to you all and thank you all. So I got my Titan in the Morning mug. Y'all can go on. The link is in the comments. Also, TikTok, you can see my TikTok shop right there. Go ahead on and click, and be good with the TikTok shop. I'm trying to make sure that we are pinned. Okay. I pinned it. And then also, too, you can click the link, YouTube, Facebook, Insta, Podbean, X, all of y'all over there. You can go ahead and click the link. Y'all with me this morning? Okay. All right. All right. All right. So this is what we going to do then. This is what we going to do. So I want to say good morning to you. Navigating the experience. That's what we're about to talk about this morning. We're going to sprinkle it into the cup. Y'all with me? We're going to sprinkle it into the cup, and then we're going to sip. Y'all ready to sip with me? Okay, come on. Hold on. Hold on. Now that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sip. That's how we're gonna sip. Now look, y'all. I know y'all are sitting there saying it looks like, it feels like, it even sounds like it's something other than a sip, but that's a sip. That's how we sip here at Titan in the morning. So y'all come through, come talk to me, and let's be on top of it. All right. Now, y'all look, let me tell y'all something. So this morning we're talking about navigating the experience. And I want to talk about navigating the experience. And a lot of people were saying, well, Titan, what does that actually mean? I know, Chatty. Yes, I'm sipping this morning. I am sipping indeed. So I want to talk about navigating the experience. Navigating the experience. And I wrote a little something down, and let me read it to you all. Okay. So there's a couple of things that I want to say to you all this morning, and it's three things actually, right? So remember what I was talking about, that sometimes we are looking from a different vantage point. Sometimes we don't truly understand what's going on in the sense of everybody has an experience because we have not had that experience. I got a story, but hold on a second. Let me give you these three things first, and then we'll talk about it, okay? So the reality of it is the more experiences that you have, right, navigating these events or these things that are happening, right, the more you'll come to know what to expect. You know how I always say, y'all, that we may forgive, but we don't forget. A lot of times there is a lesson, there's an experience in that. And you don't want to forget what it looks like, what it feels like, what it tastes like. You don't want to forget that, because that way you will know what to expect. You with me? So the more experiences you have, the more well-versed you will be in identifying those experiences and then navigating them. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the ability to steer through, right, phases and obstacles. A lot of times, y'all, we don't know how to steer through these phases or obstacles because we have not experienced them to the full extent. We are not in the experience. And y'all, that's the reason why I have the Titan Capri experience, because I want you to have an experience, but I want you to have an immersive experience about what it is that's going on in the world right now. And we may not like it, we may not agree with it, but it is part of our world. You understand what I'm saying? So that, and then the more experiences that you have, the more ways that you are able to steer through them, right? You become more resilient and better prepared to face whatever it is. I tell you all the time, right? There are certain places and things that I don't go to and I don't do. And the reason why is because my spirit has said, Titan, I said, my spirit has said, that's not for you, right? But y'all, I was in the military for 8 years, and I'm going to talk about an experience that I had that I was not prepared for, that I didn't understand, but I understand now, right? I didn't like it at the time, but I understand what it did for me at the time. And this can go for anything, but this is my military experience that I'm going to talk about here in just a second. But we have different vantage points, right? And culturally, we are different, okay? And then we have different tools to navigate. So y'all hold that. So hold that. I'm going to start with the different tools. So y'all, I say to you all the time that I'm of a different breed, right? There are a lot of things that happen in life, and I choose, if that's the word, I choose to protect my peace, right? But there are certain things that I will talk about if I need to talk about them. Y'all with me? And so what I want to talk about here is that I didn't know that I had I didn't know how the experience was going to affect me until I had the experience. Now, you can see things on TV, on the news, and everything, right? But you don't know what the experience is unless you're actually there. And so here is a thing, right? Here's the thing that we can all have the same experience, or the same experience can happen in the same area, space, and time for three different people, and you'll have three different vantage points, or you'll have three different experiences altogether. Hey, Johnny Deal. Hey, good morning. Okay, thank you for chiming in over there. Yes, good morning to you. Good morning. So, I'm having a conversation with someone, and they're telling me that they don't agree with this. Remember, it was early in the week. They were saying they don't agree with this and they don't agree with that. And I said, well, but here's the reality though. Have you experienced this? Well, I don't want to experience. I don't need to experience. I don't need to do anything. Yes, you can't be in this world and turn a blind eye. You can't be in this world and not acknowledge that things are going on. You can't be in this world and not understand that you have a vantage point. I know y'all are probably saying, Titan, oh, here you go. No, but think about what I'm saying. I'm so far detached from something that I can't experience it because I'm detached from it. And y'all, I say this all the time, and let me preface this. I know that there are certain things that I cannot do. I don't want to revisit. I don't want to go to. I don't want to have, because I already know what it will do to me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and sometimes even physically, right? So I'm not saying that you got to experience every single thing, but you cannot stand in the midst of chaos and destruction and you feel, or you say that it doesn't pertain to you, but it's chaos and destruction going on all around you. Hold on. So I'm having this conversation, and we're talking about the current laws and the things that are being stripped away, the things that are being canceled, and all of that. And so I said, well, how are you? Oh, that don't have nothing to do with me. Okay. Well, Titan, I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with me. So I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. And I said, but did you just see how you got upset? You started moving your neck and doing like, so obviously it's affecting you some type of way. But what I'm saying is, how are you with what's going on? Are you worried? Are you upset? Are you just great? Right? And then they said, well, Titan, I just told you I was good. And I said, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. But let me express to you how I'm feeling right now, right? In this moment, I have a feeling of uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen. I have a feeling of there are people in my community that's going to truly be affected. I'm affected by it. But also, too, I look at things from a different vantage point. I'm over here. I may be up here. And it's just like, let's say there's a flood, right? God forbid. Let's say there's a flood, right? But if I'm on the lower level and you're on the high level here, the water going to come in and devastate me more quickly and faster than it'll devastate you. You can see it coming. I probably on such a low level, I can't see it coming, right? And so I said that these things that are coming, these things that are happening, we saw them coming, right? But you don't really understand what they are or how they are until they start happening. All that stuff that you were doing back here, you were thinking that you were good. Now you're saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? And now you're doing all of this and you're thinking to yourself like, wait, so this really does affect me. Now, yeah, I'm using I statements because I didn't want this person to think that I was trying to make them say something that they didn't want to say or do anything like that. But I'm checking on my people, right? I'm checking on my people, navigating the experience. A lot of times we don't navigate. A lot of times we ghost it. A lot of times we ignore it. We put up barriers because we don't want to experience those things, and rightfully so. But there is no outlet, media outlet. There is nowhere in the world right now that you cannot turn on something, open something, flip to something, click to something, and you don't see what's going on in the world, right? And while I am about protecting my peace, I have to acknowledge what is actually going on. Y'all with me? So I navigate the experience differently. I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and we had a conversation, and the conversation got deep, right? And they said to me, they said, Titan, you know what? Thank you for that, because I was thinking something else. And they were like, well, forgive me for going off. I hope I didn't, I wasn't yelling at you, or I wasn't, going off the deep end. And I said, no, I'm good, because I understand that we navigate from a different vantage point, right? You have experienced this, so your vantage point is different than mine. I've experienced this. I said, but overall, that doesn't mean that we cannot have a healthy conversation or a good conversation. It just means that we see things differently, right? And they said, you know what, Time? Well, thank you for that. But I had to realize that when I was in the military, and I'm going back to the military, I went into the military thinking that it was one thing, right? And everybody has a vantage point in the military. So you will have your experience, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, right? I'm not saying that my whole military experience was bad, but during that time, it was don't ask, don't tell, right? That was alive and well in the military. And y'all know how I identify. I identify as a Black gay man who was HIV positive, right? I wasn't HIV positive when I was in the military, but after the military, yes. So anyways, but I was still a Black gay man, right? And sometimes people would be cruel and nasty about you being a Black gay man. And I'm not saying that this is right. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is sometimes you have to understand what the vantage point is, right? Yes, check them. Yes, protect your peace. Yes, do that. But I was in the military where I went to be more of a man, to serve my country. That's what it was. You're going to be this, you're going to be that, you're going to do all of these things. You're going to be a soldier. And when I got there, it was not that. It was them stripping me of everything that I knew, or everything that I felt that was me, right? They stripped me from it, not stripped like clothes, but they stripped me from it, basically saying, I got to take this away from you so I can build you back up. You're going to learn things. You're going to see things. You're going to do things that you probably would not have done being where you're from. And it is so true, because I came from Texas, right? Going all the way to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, Fort Lost in the Woods, as they called it, for my basic training. It was totally different than what I had ever expected. I had never been in that much cold for that long, right? I went into the military in November, right? And I didn't understand. Like, we got there. You get what I'm saying? Navigating the experience. Y'all, I had to take a moment and really realize where I was and what was going on, and if I wanted to stay. Now I'm about to be real with y'all. I'm about to be real, because that's all that I can be. I don't hate the military, but at that moment in time, in that basic training in Fort Lost in the Woods, I did not like the military at all. I was not privy to this, right? I heard, but I had not experienced this firsthand. So what I'm saying is, I could talk all of this noise in the background because I had never experienced it. When I got there, right, I was like, what? Well, wait. Well, it was me going to a new state, a new city. It was me traveling, going here. I'm leaving my family for the first time. And I'm not saying I'm going to another city that's in Texas. I'm going to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri for my basic training, right? Me even going to the MEP station was something in itself. It was an experience. And so I talked to a couple of my battle buddies here recently, and they were saying, Titan, you always told good stories. You should literally like tell the story, right? And I said, it's funny how all these years later, because I've been out the military for 20 years, 24 years. It'll be 24 years this year that I've been out the military. And the memory, right, is still fresh. It's still there, right? And so what I'm saying this morning is navigating the experience. A lot of times we have not experienced what others have experienced. I had someone tell me one time that I didn't deserve to be a veteran just because of the way I showed up to an event. I showed up like Titan. That's how I showed up. And they said, well, I don't even think you would have lasted throughout basic training. And in my mind, I was like, well, why would this man, it was a Caucasian man, why would this man tell me this? And he's a veteran as well. And then I was thinking to myself, well, wait. So I didn't want to do anything. I felt like that I was taken away from that. I didn't feel good about being the veteran and going to these places and getting my free dinner or whatever it is and all of these things, having benefits. Like, it really took me to another place, right? And so you have to really understand what my experience was, navigating the experience. Keisha said, and you did and re-enlisted. Yes, Keisha. Don't sit up here and remind me. Yes, indeed. So I think that, hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. Where are we at? I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. Ooh, I just wanted to make sure that we were good. Okay, hold on. All right, yes. And then I re-enlisted, as Keisha stated, right? Sky said, but you are excellent, top notch. Indeed, and I appreciate that. But this is the navigating the experience. This is what I didn't understand back then. I was just I'm coming back to the guy. So I was talking to them about, I took pictures and things of my travels, and I took pictures of digging a foxhole and setting up the netting and all of this stuff. But I wish I would have done a lot more, because now I want to look back on those experiences, and because me and my battle buddies are talking about, you remember when, and I was like, why wasn't I taking pictures back then? But here's how I was navigating the experience. I wanted to get it over with. I wanted it to be done. I signed up for this. I didn't sign up necessarily for Fort Lost in the Woods, right? Y'all understand where I'm coming from. This gentleman is telling me that I am not a veteran because I probably I wouldn't have survived basic training. Now, I'm at a veteran event. I'm a veteran, and he's telling me, now he's an older gentleman, 60s, close to 70, I believe. At the time, I think I was in my 30s, right? Or something like that. And so I remember this because, no, I wasn't in my 30s. Yeah, but anyways, so I remember this because he was so forward in what he was saying, right? And I asked him, so somebody asked him, well, how many years did you serve? He said, oh, well, I was in the reserve and I did my 2 years. And then they was like, oh, so you were a weekend soldier. This is not me saying that, this is them. And I said to myself, I did 8 years. I re-enlisted. I did 4 and 4. Not that we're counting, but I was saying to him, like, why would you take down who I am because I don't look or I don't have the same feel that you do for that? And y'all, I sat there and I watched people mingle and talk and things. And I sat there and I watched the dynamic of the room and on a Veterans Day, right? And I thought to myself for a moment that I don't deserve this. You know what I'm saying? Like Like, I don't deserve it in the sense of I don't deserve somebody questioning, right, my military experience. I don't deserve somebody telling me that I'm less of a soldier because I don't look the way that they look. Y'all, I started showing up to things looking my way. In the military, I had to always be what they call manly, straight up here, straight up there, while I'm sitting up here trying to fight through these experiences, trying to understand me being taken from Texas and placed in Fort Lost in the Wood, right? Because I'm going to get to the other duty stations, but Fort Lost in the Woods, and I am in basic training. We are doing things. We are digging stuff that I have not done. We are doing cold weather training. We're doing pugil sticks. We are hand-to-hand combat. We're doing sit reps, and we are. I was part of. We're doing marksmanship. We're doing PT, and we're doing all of these things, right? And they are whipping you into shape. And y'all, the culture was different. Navigating the experience. I saw a lot of people fall. I saw a lot of people give up. A lot of people say, I can't do it, right? And y'all, at the time, I was looking at them Scooby-Doo sideways like everybody else was. But I didn't understand how they were navigating the experience. We believe that we are going into the military because we are going to be soldiers. We're going to protect our country. We're going to do for our family. And we're revered as such. But I want to say this, the experience is different for everybody. I went in thinking I was physically fit or thinking I was fit enough to be in the military, but I didn't understand. We were pushing Fort Leonard Wood to a new height because I did so many push-ups. We were doing PT, running 2 miles. We were doing sit-ups. We were doing like endurance trainings and all of this. And I was saying, what is happening? Right? Then you go through these things. You have to be able to complete them, right? And then there was this guy in our basic training that literally jumped out of the window. And I always remember this because he was always last in the rucksack marches. He was always last in the march. He was always last in getting things done. But I remember him when we first got there. He was so gung-ho on let's do, who, da 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 da. You know, yes, Sergeant, and everything. Yes, drill sergeant, all of that stuff. He was game with it. But he slowly, and I don't say slowly because I think it was really quick. He realized, he flipped. Like he was like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, this is hard. People yelling at you all the time, pushing you. You're running everywhere. You're trying to get in. I can't do this. And he was a big dude, right? He was like 6'3", 6'4", maybe. Yeah, he was a big dude, right? They used to call him Country because he was from the country anyways. But he was just like, man, like I can't do this, right? So he had hurt like he couldn't do the rucksack. I think he got dehydrated or something. I'm trying to remember what happened prior to the window incident. But anyways, he could not, I can't remember exactly right now, but he could not make it, right? But a part of me understood that because I wanted to give up, right? So they pull us all out. I'll never forget this. They pull us all out. We get in formation. And they said, and I want to say this was our first week, maybe the third day or the fourth day. I can't remember. Third day, maybe third day. Anyways, they say, who want to go home? You can go home now. Now, we all know, right? We all know that that is not the case in point. We all know that you are not going home, right? This is just a ploy for them to try to weed out people, try to do things like that. So he was in formation with us. I was here third and he was in the fourth. But anyways, I could see him to my side. And I was saying to him, because we had talked the night before, I was asking him, are you okay? Just like, he was like, I don't want to be here. It was a group of us. I don't want to be here, things like that. But most of us was like, hey, we just going to push through, right? This is so different for us. We don't really know. We're hurting. We're sore. Nobody told us it was going to be this. We were shown how to clean the barracks. We were shown how to put the corners on the bed and be able to bounce a quarter off of it and all of those things. It was all of these things, right? We were getting our BDUs. We were getting boots. We had our heads shaven. It was a whole lot, y'all. It was a whole lot. And so we were talking to him about, just hang in there, right? Just hang in there and do it. And y'all, and so when I say navigating the experience, I think about him and how we were trying to get him through the experience. But I had to realize I was today's year old, right? That I realized that was not his experience to have. It was not for him. Like, he literally did not have another way out. So he thought he was doing what he was doing for his family, but his family was pressuring him, and so he couldn't leave, right? But he was hurting. He was not somebody that was built for the military. And I dare to say that I wasn't as well, but I come from a place, and not saying that he didn't, but I was like, I'm going to show you. You told me I can't do it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to push through all the pain and all of this right here, because I'm not about to let these people down. I'm not about to do that. But that's my mindset, me navigating the experience that I'm having. He could not navigate the same experience the same way. So we were in there the night before talking to him, trying to get him pep up. It was not for him. And I'm in this space and in place right now to where I understand that. I understand how to navigate the experience, right? And I understand that I can't push navigating the experience onto somebody else when that's not their experience, right? I can understand what they're going through, right? I can understand where they're at, right? And I can only say, how can I support you? But back then, I wasn't saying that. I was saying, you just got to make it. You just got to make it. We got about 2 months, right? We got about 2 months. You just got to make it. You make it through, just making sure you don't get hurt, things like that. Like, we are really trying to pump him up. And I was thinking that we thought we were really helping him, right? But we were pushing him further away by saying, okay, you're going to, not necessarily we said it in these words, but we were saying, be a man, suck it up, drive on. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, quit complaining and just get through it. But he was not able to get through it. He was not able to navigate that experience. That experience was traumatic for him, and we didn't understand it, right? So fast forward to the next day, we're in formation, and the drill sergeant says to us, if you want to leave, now is the time for you to leave. All you got to do is step forward. All you got to do is step forward and you can go, right? And we all, the 5 or 6 of us that was talking to him last night, we all looked. And in formation, you're supposed to be dressed right, dressed and straightforward, all of that. But we all looked because we were like, don't do it. Don't do it, right? We were just saying, please don't do it, because we knew that if you did it, you were going to be over there in the sawdust pit. It was going to be hell for you. We knew it, right? We knew it. And this man, at the time, I was going to say this boy, we all saw him take that step out of formation. And our mind, I can't speak for everybody. I was like, no, right? No. And I was thinking in my mind, well, all you had to do, but I was like, I'm navigating the experience differently. His appearance gives you that he could have navigated that experience differently. from the vantage point. But from his vantage point, he was not used to that. He was hurting. His feet were hurting. His back was hurting. His neck was hurting. He was accident prone. He was tripping over. He was constantly cleaning the barracks late night because he wasn't doing this. They even told him that if he kept on messing up, they were going to give him a toothbrush and he was going to have to do the latrine. And I was just like, like you just really want to help somebody. I'm struggling myself, right? But my vantage point was different than his. Sure enough, they sent him to the sawdust pit. They made sure he was doing what did they call them? Well, anyway, they sent him to the sawdust pit. And in the sawdust pit, he was over there pushing Fort Leonard Wood to a new height. He was out there for hours, right? He was out there for hours. And I know y'all are probably saying, Titan, this can't be right, because why would they do that? This was back in the day. This was Don't Ask, Don't Tell. This was Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Things were different back then. Anyways, he's out there. We go to go about our way. We come back. He's out there. Every time he gets in front of a drill sergeant, he had to push-ups. And so at this point, I really did not understand what muscle failure was, right? And in the barracks, we all talked about how he couldn't push anymore. Like he couldn't do anymore. They were already calling him weak. They were already calling him this and that and unks and all this other stuff. Put the P on the front of it. All of this stuff, all of that stuff, all of that. And I was sitting here saying to myself, like, man, I just really want to help him. Like, I really want to help him. So about 2 days, no, maybe about 3 days later, they still giving him the business. He's still tired, all of this stuff. He can't do this. He can't really push a lot. He can't make PT, or he can't do the PT test fully because he's not strong like that. He's a big guy, and you think that he would be strong by looking at him or the way he's built, but he wasn't. And this is not a dig at him at all. Anyways, long story short, they kept putting him through hell, and he kept saying that this wasn't for him. This man, the day that we were doing the Claymore, we were setting it up, running it. We had practice and did all of that. He says that he's sick or something like that. So he goes to the infirmary. I think it was the infirmary. He goes to the infirmary, which was like a building over from us, or maybe 2 buildings. I'm trying to remember where we were in the quad. But anyways, we were doing the practice for the Claymore, and he goes to the infirmary. He comes back. He passes up us out practicing. He passes up. We can see him. He goes by, and he goes into the barracks. Well, we were not supposed to go back into the barracks until we got through with our training, right? We got through with our training, and then we were going to go back into the barracks because the barracks have been cleaned. They didn't want tracking nothing in there. I don't know what was going on. But anyways, he goes in there. The drill sergeant sees him. The drill sergeant calls the other drill sergeant and says, hey, such and such is over here. Go check in on him. Let's see what's going on. And you can hear him, soldier, bah, 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 bah. You get down here right now, this and that, or whatever have you. We look up, y'all. We look up. We over here, Claymore, or we're saying fire in the hole, or whatever it is that we're doing. And we look up, and he's on the window ledge, and everybody is freaking out. Like, what is happening? The training stopped and this and that, and then he jumps. And what's crazy about this is that he jumps, but there's a ledge like 2 windows down. He hits the ledge and then hits the ground. Now, I don't know what would have happened if he'd have hit the ground just straight out, but he broke his leg, or his ankle, I think it was. And he fractured his arm. We had 3 floors. I think it was 3 floors, 2 windows. But anyway, he fractured his arm. If that wasn't bad enough, us seeing that, us thinking that he possibly could be dead, us freaking out, like we've never seen this before. But I still didn't register with the trauma of what's happening, because he was like, I can't get out of this. I can't get out of this. One thing that I didn't say, that night that we talked to him, he had just got off the phone with his family. This is the part that I forgot, that I never forget, but I kind of skipped it in the story. He got off the phone with his family and he was crying because his family told him that he could not come home, that he had to complete his training. They were banking on him supporting them and doing what's right. In their country, in their town, being a soldier was like A1. Just imagine your family telling you that you can't come home. Now, I don't know if they meant that he couldn't come home or they meant that he had to see it through and then come home. I don't know. I don't know. But this man jumps out the window, hits the ledge, hits the ground. I think it's his ankle, and I think it's his arm that's fractured. He goes to the infirmary. He has a cast on and he has a sling, right, when he comes back. And do you know they had him get in formation? They had him get in formation, and they told him, they said to everybody, this is not how you get out of here. You are that weak, that you go up and you just, they were talking to him like, and in that moment, we all were like, yeah, like, you know, like he should have pushed through. But y'all, I'm this age in my life, and long before now, but I'm just saying right now, navigating the experience, his experience was not a good one. And we kept trying to push him to have a good experience, to push through, because it'll be greater later. And y'all, we didn't understand how traumatizing that was, because we all didn't want to be where he was. We didn't want to be the one that was not doing it. We didn't want to be the one that was weak and couldn't do. We didn't want to be that person. He stood in formation on a crutch with his arm. They talked about him so bad. They ridiculed him. They bullied him. They did all of these things because that was going to make him a soldier. That was going to make him a man. And I remember him. And I'm saying today that I remember navigating the experience. In that moment, then I was navigating in a place that I had to make it. No matter how hard it was, no matter how it hurt, no matter how much pain I was in, I had to make it, right? I was not going to travel all of this way and be a failure. I wasn't going to do it, right? I wasn't going to do it. That's not what I was going to do. And I'm saying all this today because I hold space for him. I can't even, I'm going to try to find my basic training book and see if I can find him. But I held space for him then, but I really hold space for him in this memory of navigating the experience, right? I navigated in such a way that I didn't understand what he was going through fully, because that was not me. So what I'm saying here today is that there are going to be times that you're going to come have a conversation maybe even get into an argument, maybe see things differently than somebody else. But it's all about your vantage point and how you navigate. Sometimes it's not for that person to be where you are. Sometimes you're going to have to leave some people where they're at because you navigate the experience differently. You have a different vantage point. I know what it's like. I never bashed the military, and I'm not bashing the military now. I'm just saying that was my experience. Going back to that older Caucasian man saying to me that I would have never lasted past basic training, and I stayed in for 8 years. You're going to navigate the experience by what you know. And some experiences are going to come your way that you don't know, you've never experienced, and you're going to wonder, how do I navigate this? How do I get through this? Sometimes we have to be careful that you're not navigating for someone else. You're not putting the navigation system into their vehicle. That's your navigation system. Because you've navigated it. You think that everybody else can do it the same way that you did. But we have different vantage points. Culturally, we are different. We come from different spaces and places. So we don't necessarily know. I couldn't tell you what he experienced at home because I never took the time to find out. But I knew after he had that phone call with his family and they told him that he couldn't come home, I didn't truly understand because my family wouldn't have said that, right? Because my family cares for me, loves me, and I can't say that his family didn't care for him or love him. However, what I can say is that he was navigating the experience differently than I was. His vantage point was here, down low. That's how he felt. My vantage point was like, whatever, you ain't finna pump me. Nope. I'm doing this. What, you say I can't? What, you say I can't run a 14-minute? You say I can't do this? I can't pass the PT? I can't do 70 push-ups or 70 sit-ups? I can't do this. I can't do marksmanship. I can't be the best. I can't do hand-to-hand combat. I can't do the rucksack march, right? With weights in my rucksack. Like, you tell me I can't do the gas chamber. Oh, I'm doing it. Hurting all alone. But failure for me was not an option. But I believe that I was doing something, right, that I had to do and complete no matter what. But it was not the same for him. We all got a culture shock arriving there. We all got a culture shock where they were yelling at us and people falling and tripping all over each other. We got a culture shock and we run everywhere we go. We were doing the obstacle course. We're doing this, and we had a culture shock. But we navigated the experience differently. So I hold space for him. And he may never know this. We may never cross paths again. But in this universe, in this energy, this spirit that I'm putting out here, I want to say I hold space for you for what you did. I don't blame you for being who you are, right? And a lot of times that's what happens. I'm navigating the experience over here the way that I navigated, and you're telling me, like the man at the veterans thing, you're telling me that I'm not even a soldier, and I did 8 years. And it's crazy that somebody would not even know you, but tell you about your experience, would tell you that you're less than because of what they perceive your experience to be. So y'all, when I sit here and when I tell y'all about these things, and I tell y'all that I'm showing up my Black authentic self, I'm showing up my Black, gay, HIV positive authentic self, I'm not doing that just so I can say, oh, look at me. I'm doing that because I am who I am. And I navigate these experiences differently, right? I navigate these experiences differently. And what I want somebody to have, or the option to have, or the opportunity to have, is an experience. I really wish that we could have gave him an experience, the experience of being seen and heard and understood, the experience of knowing that he was loved, right? In some form or fashion, because he felt like he was all alone. And that's how a lot of people are, including myself, was at one time. I felt that I was alone and nobody understood me. I felt that I was screaming to the top of my lungs in a crowded room and nobody could hear me because of how I was navigating the experience. Some people say when you know better, you do better, right? But I want to say this, sometimes knowing is not always better, because in a lot of people's eyes, it becomes real. And how do I escape the realness? How do I let it go if I cannot express to you how I'm navigating the experience? Hey, the King. The King said, good morning, Positive King. Good morning. Hey, Andy. Good morning. Good morning. She said, good morning, my friend from Indiana. Good morning to you. Good morning, Positive King. Good morning. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good morning to you all. Yes, indeed. So I know. So I'm not saying that I want to say I hold space for all soldiers, right? All soldiers that have been through the ditches, the trenches, and come out on the other side. That's everybody. Because a lot of times we don't know what you went through to get to where you are. We don't know how you perceive your experience, right? Because we are gauged to believe that it is this extraordinary thing that you're doing. And it's not that for everybody, right? It's not that for everybody. So, y'all, while we're out here in this world right now, we're doing and we're seeing, and I'm talking to these people, and I'm telling this friend of mine that I was talking to that we don't have to necessarily agree on everything, because we probably won't. But we cannot negate each other's experience, right? We can't throw it away. We can't say it's not valid, because you don't know what I've been through and where I've been. You don't know what I've seen. You don't know what I've done. You with me? And a lot of times people will tell you your experience is not valid, like that man did at the veterans event, telling me that I was not valid, that my experience was not valid. I went through basic training just like you. I went through AIT just like you. I went to my first duty station just like you. I wore BDUs, right, just like you. I did the boots, PT, all of those things, just like you. But my experience is not valid just because I don't navigate the same way that you navigate. I don't look the same way that you look, or the overall thing. Y'all, most of the time people don't know that I was in the military. And you have to ask yourself, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to be done. You have to ask yourself, well, why is that, Titan? Why don't they know? Because after my military experience was good and bad, and I felt some kind of way when I got out. So of course I didn't do the veterans thing. I didn't do announcing it. I didn't walk around, uh, saying it all the time. And a lot of times people would say things and they would be like, oh, well, Titan, you were a soldier as well. You were in the military. And I was like, yeah, I was in the military, but it wasn't the same for me. I didn't navigate it the same way, right? And it takes me back to the guy. I'm gonna call him my battle buddy because we were in the same squad. But I look at him and I say, wow. And so right now, in this moment, in this time, the reason I do the Titan Capri experience is because I want you to have an experience, but an experience of understanding that you are seen and you are heard and you are understood, right? That there is space for you. There's a place for you. And I think about that, and it's been all that time, right? 92, 93, like years, 20 plus years. So yeah, navigating the experience. Yeah, I went down the road this morning. I appreciate him and the people that were around that were trying to be there for him and understand him. I wish that there was something available at that time to where he could have been seen and heard and understood. I'm not saying that he couldn't have been, but I'm saying that I think that it would have been more prevalent to that. Navigating the experience. Understand that your experience is different than mine. So while you're navigating, right, don't discount somebody because they don't see it the same way that you see it. They don't feel it the same way that you feel it. They're not out there whore like you are. They're not, it's not their end all be all. People want to be who they are. They want to do the things that they want to do, the things that they like, the things they love. And you should allow them to be able to do that. I don't have to hate you because we don't navigate the experience the same way. I just need a little understanding, right? I'm over here, but my vantage point is different than yours. You're over here, and your vantage point is different than mine, but we are experiencing the same thing. In this world, I'm experiencing things that you may not experience because you don't look like me. You don't have the same skin color. You're not living where I'm living. So therefore, your vantage point is different than mine. I can say the same thing about you. I can't judge you on what you're doing because your experience is not mine. But what I can do is try and understand where you're coming from. Not that it has to change me, but respect the fact that your vantage point is different than mine, period. And that's what I told the friend that I was talking to the other day, right? We don't have to agree on everything, but I should not trash you as a human being because I don't agree with what you believe in or what you think is this. We come to an understanding. And I'm a firm believer that healthy banter is good, right? But if you are over here hooping and hollering and doing all that look, I ain't got time for all of that. But if you want to have a conversation and we want to be understood, right? We want to agree to disagree or however you see it fit, then we can do that. We can navigate the experience. But I cannot navigate an experience of you are right, and nobody else can be right. They must be wrong because they don't see it the same way that you see it. And to that veteran, which I don't even know if he's still living or not, and it really doesn't matter in that aspect, to him to say that I probably wouldn't have made it through basic training. Yeah, we cannot judge a book by its cover. And then, you know what? And then now that I think about it, you can judge a book by its cover because that doesn't mean a hill of beans for me believing in who I am and what I am and how I show up. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times people will say things to you, push things on you, and make you believe that you are less than because they don't see it the same way that you see it. Meaning they don't see you in a position that they're in. I completed the same training. I have the same accolades. I have proof that I did that. But why must I always pull out proof? Why must I always have to beat on my chest to say that I deserve to be in this space or not? I go into spaces and places and I identify because I understand why I identify the way that I identify and how I bring it to you everywhere I go. Because just like that soldier could not identify the way he wanted to identify, he had to be this, this, and this. He had to suck it up and drive on. He had to stop crying and he had to do all of these things. I do it for people like that, and I do it for myself because that was a point in my life where I could not be heard or understood. I couldn't be who I was. I had to be somebody else. I had to navigate the experience differently in order to get through it, but it's not for everybody. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because I didn't really plan on speaking about the soldier today, but I really thought about it because I think about how we go into battle, how we go into these fights and into these spaces and places that are supposed to be brave and inclusive and all those things. We go into these things and we're trying to make a difference in the world. And a lot of times people don't know what we've been through. They don't know what we've sacrificed. They don't know how we navigated the experience to be in front of you and to do the things that we do. They don't know. So with that being said, y'all navigating the experience. Understand that your experience may not be their experience, but it doesn't mean the experience is not valid. It doesn't mean that they don't deserve the understanding. They don't deserve who they are, how they show up. They don't deserve respect. It doesn't mean that they don't deserve that. I wonder how many people in this world have navigated the experience, and I'll say of the military, but was never seen, never heard, or never understood. I don't know how many people, but I do know that this veteran was one of those people. Because I was a Black gay man in the military. But that, don't ask, don't tell, was alive and well. I couldn't be who I was. For the sake of hurt, harm, shame, all of those things. So when I started I was like, oh, I don't want to be here. But remember, failure was not an option for me. So I navigated the experience to be able to get through it, to get past it. And so much so that I re-enlisted for another 4 years. It can't be that bad. The world is changing. Right? It was still bad. I traveled. I had some good things. I met some great people I'm still friends with now, battle buddies I still talk to, soldiers that I know, family members. I watched their kids grow up. They watched my child grow up. Like, like we are still in it. But when we sit and we talk about certain things, we realize how traumatic it was for us. And we had no way of expressing it because we felt the only way that we were going to navigate this experience was to suck it up and drive on, to get through it. And we did that. And so many of my battle buddies or army buddies that I know are hurt. They have been. They were traumatized. Just like the soldier I told you about was traumatized. And there was nowhere for him to go. His last resort was his family. His family told him no. So y'all, while we're out here in this world, and this world is ever changing right now, there's a lot of things going on. I want you to think about how you are navigating the experience. What does the navigating the experience look like for you? And then I also want to say to you that you navigating the experience is valid. The way that you're navigating the experience, it is valid. To that friend of mine, I told you that I was going to talk about it today, right? Your experience is valid. It doesn't mean that I look down on you or I feel that you are not worthy of the experience. I just know my vantage point is different. But that doesn't mean I don't hold space for you. That doesn't mean that you are not still my brother, my sister. You're not my village, my tribe. You're all of that. And sometimes, y'all, being silent, I always say silence is violence. But sometimes you have to be quiet in order for them to understand what they're doing. And I'm not saying that I was quiet and I didn't say anything. I'm just saying sometimes you just have to pull back and say, but let me say this, right? When I pull back and I'm quiet, I understand that. I hold space for you. I get it. But that's not where I was going. That's not what I'm doing. I don't feel no kind of way towards you. So there wouldn't be a reason for me. You know what I mean? Why am I angry with you? I'm not. That's your experience. And just like you said, that I can't change you. You can't change me in that aspect. But what I do want to say, and I'm ending this here, is that I hold space for you. Right? That your experience, how you navigate this experience is different from me. That's all I got to do is understand that. And then we good. And we good. Look, y'all. I started the Titan Capri experience because I wanted to navigate experience differently. I wanted to navigate experiences differently. I wanted you to be heard and understood and seen. And it doesn't mean that you were not heard, understood, or seen before. I'm just saying when I come into a space, I want to acknowledge who you are. I want to acknowledge what it is. I don't have to believe it. I don't have to like it in that aspect, but I do hold space for you navigating the experience the way that you navigate it. And that's all I ever want to do, right? Someone said this morning coming on, oh, you part of those, the alphabet community. Y'all, yes, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. But let me tell you something. I don't pay you no never mind. I acknowledged it for what it was. Thank you for your comment or whatever have you, but don't get it twisted, right? You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. You feel me? Because I'm navigating this experience differently than you are. Now, of course, you can't come on here and do all that. We're going to block, we're going to stop, we're going to make sure that we got some moderators, all that stuff. However, the other part is I know who I am. And if you cannot like me because you saw my flag in the background, like my grandma used to say, kick rocks. Kick rocks. Do what you do. Y'all. Do I have some worries about the state that we're in right now? Yes. Am I hopeful? Yes. Do I think that we're resilient? Yes. Do I think that we need to acknowledge where we are? Yes. Will we continue to fight? Yes. All of those things can be true at the same time. We all need to navigate the experience. Now is not the time for us to hate one another, dislike one another. Now is not the time for us, and I'm saying this all throughout history, right? It's never been the time. But if they separate us, right? Yeah. I will continue to do what I'm doing. I will continue to navigate the experience the way that I navigate it. I will continue to push and pull. I will continue to show up at the table. I will continue. That's my promise to you. Y'all, I'm going to get out of here because I feel like I think I need to go find my book and go through my book and find him and see if I can contact him. I mean, through our social media and stuff that we have now. So, yeah. I still thought about that. I think I'm going to talk about this in my next session. But anyways, y'all, peace and blessings to you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm sorry about that. I'm in, but thank y'all so much. And I will talk with you all soon. And be blessed and all of that. Navigate the experience, right? Never negate the experience. Have you an experience, but also understand that other people have experiences from a different vantage point. And I think those vantage points can be seen, understood, and heard. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings to you. Until next time, y'all be good. Thank y'all so much for being here. Yeah. Y'all good? I'm out. Yes, indeed. I'm out. Say again. Yes, indeed, Sky. Indeed.